All right, delivering our first load of the week. It's Thursday. I picked this up on Monday. I could have got here Wednesday, but I'm running on recaps and I just didn't have enough time. So the bad thing about that is I'm in Texas and loads are pretty slow coming out of here. So I probably won't get anything until tomorrow, but we'll find out. So by some crazy stroke of luck, I got a pre-plan for a load after I delivered that one yesterday. And I'm picking up this load here in Galveston. It's Friday morning, and I'm taking it up to South Dakota. I'm here waiting for an escort right now because I don't have a TWIC card. I think if you have a TWIC card, you can just go in ports and you don't need an escort, but I don't have a TWIC card, so I'm waiting for an escort. And there's a train blocking the entrance right now too, so I'm also waiting on that. But yeah, so we're gonna go get this load. It's a John Deere load. Delivers Monday. It's 1,100 loaded miles. All right, so here's our second load of the week from Galveston to South Dakota. Before I take all this off, I'll just show you guys how I secured this. You got to make sure that there's padding around all these chains because they're very particular about scratching the paint. Also, you got to pad in between chains anytime they cross. I already took that off so you can't really see it, but yeah. And then around the back, I just got these hooked up around the axles back here. But yeah, this is got some. These are mowers from John Deere, so pretty cool. So I just delivered those mowers, and that puts me at about 2,600 miles for this week. Not anything spectacular, not the worst. Miles have been getting better for me, slowly. The past couple months it's picked up a good bit. Here, let me show you guys. So let's take a look at what I did this week. So only 2 loads, as we can see. We got this one from Michigan down to Texas around Austin. Picked this up Monday, delivered it Thursday. Could have got there Wednesday, but did not have the hours to do so, unfortunately. But fortunately, we actually got a load the next morning, which is the one that I just delivered. Picked this up at the port of Galveston, which ports in general just usually suck to pick up at. But this one in particular, the people running this place try so hard to make it difficult for you to get your load. Like, so much that after a certain point, it was just funny. Like, I wasn't even upset anymore. It was just like, this is just actually comical how hard you guys are trying to make this right now. But we got this one, delivered it today. No tarp here, but we did have a tarp on the last one, so about 2,600 miles this week. Nothing spectacular, but we had 1 tarp, so that's $100 extra. If we go here, we can see the past couple months of payroll. So these are all how much I made net. So the past few weeks, as we can see, have been pretty decent. This is as far back as it'll let me go. But before this, things were bad, dude. Like, December and January and most of February were just dumpster. Like, would have been better just to stay home. It was not great. But miles have been picking up. I haven't really been having to sit for loads, at least not recently. So yeah, this is the time of year where loads start to pick up, at least from my experience. This is around the time when I first started at Melton, the first time I drove here. And I never really had to sit for loads at all. It was just constant running. So that's how it's starting to be a little bit again. I imagine it's only going to get better as we get further out of winter. So yeah, so things have been getting pretty good. This one, I had $600 of Road Warrior bonus. So every 2 weeks, no, every 3 weeks that you stay out consecutively at Melton, you can exchange that for either $200 bonus, Road Warrior bonus, or an extra day of home time. So I requested $600 of my Road Warrior. I think I have like another 400 right now that I haven't asked to be paid out yet. 400 or 600 more. So yeah. So that's pretty good. So this last week we had 1,800. A week before that 1,900. That is a good week. I don't think I had any special bonuses. Oh yeah, Canada pay. So I had a load actually the week before this $968 week coming out of Canada, but they did not give me my extra Canada pay, so I had to ask for it on this week. So this one should have been about 1,800. This one should have been about 1,100. And then here 1,500. That was a good week. 622. This is pretty bad. What is this? This is, oh yeah, this is, I think there were these loads going from Laredo to San Juan, Texas. I think that's where it was. They were building this like big power plant, and that sucked. Honestly, that was not great. I ran that for like a week, just back and forth, loads from Laredo to there. Not great, as we can clearly see. This one, 2,200. That is big. Oh yeah, so I took home time on this week here, and then I sat for a couple days. When I got back in Laredo, I picked up a load, I don't know, probably like Wednesday or Thursday or something, and so I had an extra load on this week, so that's why this one's 2,200, and this one is 0. So I took home time this week, and yeah, and then 1,300, 1,200, whatever. Not terrible, not great, but things have been getting better. Hopefully they continue to get better. So this week was pretty uneventful. Only 2 loads. Not terrible miles for just getting 2 loads, but yeah, not a whole lot for me to make a video about. So I threw in that extra stuff about my pay recently. If you're watching my channel, you probably already know, but I'm a company driver, and I got about 1 year experience. So yeah, I'm at 58 cents per mile. Once I reach 120,000 miles with Melton, my pay gets bumped up. I forgot what it gets bumped to, but I'm almost to 120,000, so it'll be going up soon. So yeah, there's that. I got a couple comments on my last video, people asking questions, so I'll answer those now. So I got one about trip planning, about how to like add stops on Google Maps on your phone. So I'll go in and show you guys how I do that right now. So to add stops, what I'll do is, I'll type in my destination, click directions from my location right here. So then once we're on this screen, and let's just say hypothetically, I just got a load assignment. So we'll just say this is a no truck road, and I want to route myself around it. But Google Maps isn't going to automatically know that or give me that route. So what I'll do is, so once I'm here, I'll like zoom in on where I want to go. So I'll say I want to go on this road right here, and I'll click these 3 dots at the top. I'll go to add stop, click this, choose on map. So then it'll take you to this, and you can drop this pin wherever you want. So I'll just put it on this road, click OK, and then I'm going to have to reorder this. So my pin right here, that's going to come before my destination. Click done, and then it will take me this way. So if this was like a no truck route or something, then I could drop this pin over here. Where did I drop it? Oh yeah, right here. Dropped it right here, this letter A, stop A, and then say if I like wanted to go back around this way, I just drop another pin over here, and then it would take me to here. And then once I reach each one of these spots, it'll come up with a little prompt down here, and you just tap continue, and it just takes you to the next one. So yeah, that is how I add stops on my phone GPS. So after I recorded that part, I had to go pick up this load that I have now. So this is a couple days later, hence different clothes and stuff. But there were a couple more questions that I got on the last video that I was going to answer here. So one is about food, like my diet and staying fit. And the other one was about why I got into trucking, how old I am, and other career paths that I considered, stuff like that. So I'll answer the food one first. That'll probably be quicker. So I don't really have like any sort of set like diet that I follow, or really any kind of like rules that I follow for eating. I guess would say I don't really get that hungry when I'm out here, so I don't eat a whole lot, to be honest. If anything, I should probably be eating more. But like today, for example, I ate a breakfast croissant and a turkey sandwich for lunch. The croissant for breakfast, obviously. I had a turkey sandwich probably at like noon or like 1 p.m, like 2 p.m. It's 6 o'clock right now in the afternoon, and I probably won't be hungry the rest of the day. So that's probably all that I'm gonna eat today. Usually, I guess I typically on average probably only eat like twice a day. It'll either be like a really small breakfast, like a croissant or a biscuit or something, and then like a late-ish lunch, which is usually like a sandwich. Or Love's sells these wraps that those are my favorite. Those are good. The wraps are really good. And yeah, one of those, or the salads also from Love's are good. They have a good variety of salads. Yeah, and I guess usually I don't eat breakfast. I'm not typically hungry when I first wake up, or really for like the first half of the day. I'm not really hungry, but if I'm hungry, then I'll get like a croissant or something, and then I'll eat like a late lunch and sometimes dinner. But if it's like a day where I'm just driving, like today, I just don't get hungry because I'm not really, expending any calories hardly at all. So yeah, but so usually I'll just eat like twice a day. Every now and then, maybe like once a week, or like 3 times a month maybe, I'll eat like I'll have a burger, like the whatever kind of fast food the truck stop has, and I'll get like a soda like 3 times out of the month or something. If I really can't find anything that I like, like as far as like sandwiches go or something, then I'll just eat something like that. But yeah, and then I would say if you're trying to like lose weight, don't drink your calories. Try to be very aware of how many calories you're taking in, like from soda, things like that, Gatorade even. There's a lot of sugar, a lot of calories in there. I don't really drink sugary drinks at all. I'll drink an energy drink, usually like 1 per day, but always ones without any sugar. I just need the caffeine, that's it. I don't need all the sugar, like the 35 grams of sugar that some of them have. So you definitely don't need all that. yeah, so that's what I do as far as like diet goes. And yeah, like I said, if anything, I should probably eat more. Like when I'm not driving, like before I started back here at Melton, um, in between the time when I quit that job in the oil field and here, there was like a 2 or 3 months where I wasn't working, and yeah, I was. I mean, all I would do is I'd go to the gym every day, and I would just force myself to eat because I was, just trying to, I guess, bulk. So I was just trying to, see how big I could get. So I got up to like 165, I think, at the heaviest, and that's about what I was at when I came back here. And now, like a month ago, last time I took home time, I weighed myself again, and I was like 155. So yeah, whenever I'm out here, I end up losing weight just because I don't get that hungry when I'm out here, and also I don't like to ever like feel really full, just because that messes with my energy levels and like alertness, um, and I find it better for driving when I'm not like super stuffed, and it just makes me tired. So I don't like to ever feel full. I just eat enough to like not feel hungry. That's pretty much, I guess, how I try to balance it. So there's kind of a balance. I try to just not be full but not be hungry, and keep it at like a balanced medium, that keeps my energy pretty steady throughout the day. So yeah, and as far as like staying fit, like exercising and stuff, I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can do. You can do any number of body weight exercises even in your truck. I mean, there's enough room. You could get down and do some push-ups, sit-ups, squats, like body weight, or if you have like if you drive flatbed, a lot of this equipment is pretty heavy. The chains, the chain binders, I think they're about 10 pounds a piece. So you grab 2 or 3 of those things, and do some like curls or shoulder raises. You can get creative with it. So you can do pull-ups on the side of your trailer. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. You can run at the truck stop. I see people doing that sometimes. You can run laps around the truck stop. It's not always the best place. Sometimes they're disgusting, but sometimes they're not. So the final question. So this video's gone on a lot longer than I thought it would, but how old am I? I'm 26. How and why did I get into trucking, and what else did I consider, or am I considering? So how I got into trucking was, I have a couple friends who did it before me. They did it pretty close to right out of high school, I think, or like a couple years after we got out of high school. And I had been doing other things, so I went to college for a little bit for kinesiology at first. Didn't like it a whole lot. Well, I mean, I kind of liked it. I was always into like exercise and like athletics and things like that. But there wasn't like a clear enough career path that I was really into. So after a little while, I dropped out of that, and I got my real estate license and became a real estate agent, because I had got into uh, reading stuff and watching videos about like investing and things like that. And real estate at that time, I was maybe 19, I think, when I was a real estate agent. So like when I was like 18 to 19, real estate was the big hot thing. So I would always be trying to learn about investing in real estate and stuff. And then I was like, why don't I just become a real estate agent, since I seem to like real estate so much. So I did that. I got my license. I was a realtor for about a year. it just, that industry just is not for me. It's just not a good fit. uh you have to really build so many relationships, and for me, that was just way too much to handle. My social battery is not, uh wears out pretty quick, I guess you could say. I'm just generally very introverted, and have, some degree of social anxiety. So, you can imagine being a real estate agent where your job is literally just dependent on your ability to, talk to people and, build and maintain relationships. That was just, too exhausting for me. And plus, I was 19. I, just wasn't really mature enough, I don't think, to, take things that seriously. So yeah, that was another aspect of it that, you know, it didn't work out, and think everything happens for a reason. So yeah, that was fine. I did okay in it. I mean, I did like a handful of deals that first year, but like I said, it was just not something that I could do long term. Um, so yeah, after that, what did I do after that? Jeez. I got a job at Granger after that. No, no, no. After that, I went back to school, but for nursing. So, yeah, I went to school for nursing for a while. Um, I, uh, that was the first time that I actually liked school because I like cared about what I was studying. So my grades were actually good. I mean, my grades weren't ever like terrible, but my GPA was like 3.7 or 3.6 or something, which was, I thought was pretty good. Um, at least, while I cared about it, my grades were good. But then I started to, for whatever reason, uh, the 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 idea of that career field just wasn't as appealing to me as it wasn't when I started. So I dropped out of that as well, and then I got a job at Granger, and I liked that job actually quite a bit. That was a good job. I liked my manager, and I made, I think it was like 17.50 an hour or something, which was pretty good, in the city I live in Texas, in Corpus. That was enough for me to, I had my apartment, well, with my roommate, but yeah, I think I made like $700 a week or something. I think that's about what it came out to. Um, and yeah, so I did that for like a year and a half, and I during that time I wasn't sure what to do. That was kind of like a in between job. It was like a warehouse slash like sales associate sort of thing. Um, I knew I didn't want to do that for like a career, but I mean, actually, you could. I mean, Granger's a great company. I did like Granger, but anyway, yeah. So I did that for a while, and then I went back to school again while I was there, but this time for architecture, because I like being creative and like design, and I like drawing, and I figured that was a job where I wouldn't have to deal with like talking to people so as much. So yeah, I started taking classes for that, and then once again, just as I learned more about like the job and like how it typically pans out for people who get their degree in architecture. I wasn't as excited about it, so I dropped out of that as well. And then I finally decided to cave in and get my CDL, like my friends had been telling me to for forever. So I saved up $4,000 when I was working at Granger to pay for my CDL school, and that was took a month and a half. I think a month and a half, for the CDL course that I took, and it was Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to like 5 p.m. or something. It was pretty intense, a pretty intense schedule. 6 days a week, full time, a little more than full time. It was yeah, it was crazy. But I got the CDL and came to Melton, and yeah, never really looked back, I guess, except for when I quit and then when I went to a different company. But I'm here again now, so yeah. As far as like how long do I think I'll be doing this, I'm not entirely sure. I don't have like a solid plan right now. I'm using this to really build a super solid financial like foundation. So when I first worked here back in 2022, I saved like it was about $30,000, I think, in that 9 months that I was here. So if I can do that again over the course of like a couple years, I could have close to 6 figures, if not a little bit more, invested in the stock market. Just a good old S&P 500. It's been taking some hits lately right now, but that's actually good, I think. Buy when it's low. Over the course of 30 years, it's gonna keep going up. So that's my plan for now. Or just sort of my rough like goal. Once I reach about $100,000, I think, invested, then I might look into maybe doing something else. So I don't know how long that'll take me. Probably a couple years, 2.5, maybe, something like that. But also, if I were to become a trainer, which is something I'm sort of considering, maybe next year, though, because you only need 1 year experience to be a trainer at Melton, but I would feel more comfortable doing it with a little more than a year, at least 2 years, I think, because then you've seen most things, and you can figure out at least what to do if you come into some new situation. Because I'd hate to be like with a student and like just have no clue of like what to do in a situation. So but if I became a trainer, that bumps your pay pretty significantly. I think I'd easily be making over 6 figures. So that could be something that I do. But I don't want to do over the road driving forever, because at some point I want to have like a sort of normal life. Not that OTR is bad. It's not a bad life. It's just not a typical normal life. And I feel like I haven't had like a normal life in a few years, which I'm not saying is bad, but it would be nice, at least for a little bit. So geez, I think that answered the questions. This went on way longer than I thought. So if you're still watching, appreciate you guys. I have that link if you want to join Melton. It'll go towards my Lamborghini fund. After I get a couple more Lamborghinis, I think I'm going to start branching out a little bit. Might get like a Rolls Royce or something next time. But thanks for watching, guys, if you're still watching. See y'all in the next one. Peace.